Well, what's up, y'all? I am D Holiday, Destiny Holiday, and I am here at Warehouse Live with the great Xavier Omar. I'm so blessed to be interviewing you right now because I am definitely a huge fan.
Thank you.
And I've been harassing my friends about this concert forever. As soon as I seen it. No, you know what I love the most is how interactive you are with your fans. Even if it's just a like on Twitter.
Sure.
I was like, who's going to the concert or whatever? Or it was just whatever it is, and you'll like it. I'm like, we friends.
Yeah, it's showing love, man. Like that's everybody like taking the time to talk about the music or the shows or whatever it might be. I want to make sure that they see I appreciate it. I'm not able, I don't want to litter my whole account with I appreciate you, I appreciate you, I appreciate you. But at least that's a small thing that says that for me. So yeah, I love doing that.
Yes, because to fans, like that makes you like know like you're being heard, and it's a lot of people who seem like they're for the fans, and you meet them and they're really not, you know. But the moment I met you,
there are people that aren't like people,
right?
People persons. There it is. So I wouldn't give them too bad a rap, but and then there's others who just got their head just.
Somewhere
They're
else.
too much of a star, but most of us, we mean well. Like me as an introvert, this is like all stuff like this is like different for me to be able to really take the time to come out of that show and speak. But to me, interviews are the moments where fans are probably most inspired, even more than the music, just to be able to see like what that person thinks and how they go about life, even more so than just like the songs they create,
Right.
Yeah.
I feel that completely because it's something about your fans they're your supporters. They don't even know you and they're supporting you, but they know your music. And listening to your music, I'm like, oh, this is my friend. So we already friends already.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful feeling because everybody can't capture that.
Right.
And it's going into the type of music that you make, which is even more beautiful. And a different type of R&B and something that we have never seen before. I wouldn't even say you're bringing back something because I feel that you created something. So where did your aspirations come from as far as making this type of R&B, and would you even put it in the box of R&B?
Oh, it's R&B. That's something that people can digest it as, but it's a lot more as well. But I don't mind people just calling it R&B just for the sake of being able to like give people a sense of what I do. I didn't really see it as I'm creating something. I saw it as like a gap, something that was missing. Excuse me. I actually started making music in the Christian hip hop scene.
Okay.
And the idea was, okay, cool. We're hearing about waiting till marriage. We're hearing about how great marriage is and all these things, but nobody is helping us to handle the in-between, like before you even get that far to marrying somebody, where the emotions you have to kind of have to wade through, the pain or the sadness or even the good times. Like, how do we deal with all of those things as believers? That was my whole like kind of just preconceived notion, or that was the whole concept of everything. And I was wondering why there wasn't any music from that perspective of just like a single person. And so then I just felt really led to be able to do it, and now I feel like I've been gifted to do that. So I've literally, while I don't consider myself within the Christian hip hop scene anymore, because I just felt that music was needed by more than just a section of people. I thought it was needed for everybody. Right. So now I come into mainstream still with the exact same thought process of, where is that for us? And then I know that it will help people who, may not even tout themselves as people who believe in God or Jesus or whatever it may be, but at the same time, it's still music that's very uplifting and respectful, that helps. So no matter what a religion or a thought may be, it helps people. That's the idea, was to be able to put something in the mainstream that will be edifying to anybody, no matter what. So yeah, still doing that.
That's really dope, and that is amazing, and that's how you know it's a gift, because you were able to see something that a lot of people are missing, and you definitely contributed something that a lot of people needed, and just the type of music you make, it is almost medicinal. Like you can connect to it, and it's like one of those things when you hear those lyrics. Yes, I feel that in my soul. Like I really feel it. So
go through that. Yep.
you're very woman positive, and I think that's even better. The fact that the type of music you make, because a lot of R&B for a long time, or even now, is a little, I'm not gonna say raunchy, but it's more sex driven. It's in hip hop, you already know how that can be derogatory in certain stance, but the way you speak about women and the way that you uplift, and the moment I heard some of the music, I was like, I am that beautiful, like yes, you know, that's important. So where did you get that? Are you speaking from a place? Are you telling your stories in these songs, or are you speaking on behalf of other people? Because I know as an artist, it's different inspirations.
It's both. So Lost in Nostalgia is my story. Afraid is the story of me and my little baby sister Erin, and then there's like, what is it? No Way Out. I feel like it's a story of like my parents. Right. Yeah, there are times where it's just me, or it's me and a friend who are talking and we had a similar thing, and I just kind of put it together in a record, or I see this going on in other people's lives, friends' lives. So it does really come from all angles and all perspectives. But the key for all of it for me is just like the main perspective it comes from is God. Like I still keep that main piece. It's like whatever it is I'm talking about, what is like his view on it. So it's not just like here are instructions on how to deal with, as much as it's like this is something that happens, how can we relate to it and not become worse because of it. So I've been through like the pain of like a song like Speculate, where it's like, okay, cool, I really went through something. How do I convey that and people connect to it, but also still strengthen them? Because at the end of the day, like even when, you know, I'm weak, I believe that God is still strong for me. So like I still have strength no matter what. So I'm not going to just fall into this place where I'm unable to recover, or now I can never love again, and I can never be myself again because this person took everything that I was. But no, like you didn't, because who I am is in God and not in you. Like my identity is never in just who I was with you. I mean, I have my own identity. So just all of those different things, I just try to keep that main perspective in the music. Yeah.
I can definitely feel that.
Yeah.
That you can see that difference in the music, and I really enjoy the change in what you bring. And I think I guess you can consider them peers, what they bring different to R&B. So who is like some of your favorite people to work with?
I don't have like particular. Obviously, the obvious answer would be Sango, but I don't have like a bunch of particular favorites because I haven't worked with people more than once all that often. So like my best friend LA, we've made a lot of music together over the years, but between him and Sango, those are my only frequent collaborators. After that, it's like, you know, there's here and there with my boy Kardik, who actually he produced Stuck on my project. And he did some stuff with me back on like older projects like Bonfire. Beam, I love working with Beam, but we've only worked 2 or 3 times in a 4-year span. Like it's not very frequent that I work with the same people. There's a lot of people I would like to get in with, and there's people I would like to get back in with. So I'm looking forward to those things.
Such as?
I would like to get in with her. A duet with Daniel Ceasar would be really cool over like one of his style records. I would try to make him do my stuff. I get too crazy sometimes. Who else, man? Those have always been the two that just like stick out in my mind. I love, I want to make sure I say her name right. I believe it's Sinead Harnett, I believe.
I know who you're talking about.
Because she loves me, and I just got to make sure I say her name right. She's amazing. Excuse me. I got a little music crush on LMI, on Little Sims.
She's a major crush. Like,
Little Sims, Carrie Foe. Would be great to work with her one day. Steve Lacy, Raven Lanace, you know. Just a bunch of people I would love to get in with. Saba. And I would love to work again with Noname, with Mick Jenkins. I'd kind of go future bounce with Gold Link. Something fun with Masego again. Like it's just there's a lot more music to be made. You know?
Absolutely.
It'd be great.
So how did it shift from Everlasting Wave? Was that what like launched everything for you?
I'm not sure. I think maybe I Was Spent Loving You was the big on the radar project. The Everlasting Wave may have been the shift because of the name change.
Right.
And that was the first project that came out after the name change. And now that people were able to kind of say it and spread it and share it more, it got around much easier. And it was different R&B in that time in the climate. So like last year, the heavy thing in R&B was trap soul. And so I made 8 different types of R&B that weren't in that dark trap sound.
Right.
This year, the thing in R&B is like slow ballads or like really mood music type thing.
Right.
And so, so I kind of stepped away from that as well. I didn't make as much of that. Always being the difference in whatever the scene is at the time, which is a risk because people want to hear you do like something in that vein because they know I could do it. But that's the thing, I want them to know I could do that.
Right.
And I still just decided to do something else.
Do your own.
Just to expand whatever the time of whatever the scene of music is at the time. And yeah, it's about being a difference as much as possible, even sonically, not just in lyrics and heart. That's always going to be there.
Right.
But I don't want that to be. I don't want people to like, oh, I'm different, but also my music sounds just like anybody else's.
Right.
No, I want it to always stand out.
Be your own signature. Because I was definitely, with the name change, it was SPZRKT to Xavier Omar. And I was like, man, because I didn't know at first. I was listening to them both and I was like, wow, they sound like the same guy. And then it was like, oh, they are the same guy. Yep. So that made a lot of sense. But I could totally understand that's a bit easier because it took me a minute. I just thought you were supposed to pronounce like each letter. And I was like, that's a lot of letters.
That would have been better, honestly. Some people, they were trying to come up with some things. I was like, bro, nah, that's not what it is.
What's the worst?
What was it? Somebody was like, spirit. I was like, there's a Z, there's a K.
How you just gonna skip over these letters like that?
That probably was the worst pronunciation of that. But there was like SPZRKT, which was actually kind of cool.
You won't forget SPZRKT. Like,
that's pretty fun actually. But no, those things. That name was just such a barrier, and it had such a ceiling on it that, like, matter of fact. Here's just a quick example. Spotify, the most listeners it ever had on Spotify was about 200,000. Once I switched my name, we are not very far right now from 2 million monthly listeners. So it's just the ability to share and understand is that big, is that major.
And to comprehend.
Yeah.
That. I can see that a lot. But no, it's great, especially when it's quality all around. So you're on your headlining tour.
Yep.
That's the fun part, the big part. I just see, how many sold out shows have you had thus far? Because you did Dallas.
5 out of 8 so far.
5 out of 8 sold out shows. That's beyond amazing. I knew I had to get my ticket early because I wasn't about to risk it. But you just did Dallas, and you're also from Texas. You're from San Antonio, Texas. You know, us Texans, you know, we love Texas. Like, that's it for right there. Texas is Texas. So how did it feel to go out to Dallas and just shut it down?
It was like, I have a little bit of a love-hate with Dallas only because of the Cowboys. I'm a Redskin fan. So,
I don't know about the Redskins, but I hate on Dallas.
Look, I'm a Redskin fan, so it's just really, it was fun. I came out in like this Adidas jacket. I'm performing, we're going crazy. They're already giving me top 3 crowd energy.
Right.
And then I was like, how many Cowboys fans out there? And I was like, took the jacket off, Redskins shirt. Went crazy.
What happened?
It was fun. They started booing. I was like, let's go. So,
take it on.
It was a lot of fun. They gave me so much love and energy. It makes me, I've always thought that like that's how Houston was gonna do it. So I'm gonna let Houston know, hey, if nothing else, Dallas was crazy, and there's no way y'all gonna let Dallas be better than y'all.
Exactly, because you know that Houston-Dallas beef is real. So.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's gonna go. But it's just really cool to be able to go in these other places and sell out in the home state, where you started making the music. And especially because not yet. I know probably next year now that now there's another project under my name. You know, people like Khalid have like tweeted out the music, and it's been really cool seeing stuff like that. But prior to those things, I couldn't do a show in San Antonio as a headliner and sell out, which is why we didn't do it on the tour.
Right.
So it's crazy to know that like I couldn't do it at home, but you go to the other big cities in the state and you can. And now I know when I come back home, I can as well.
It's over.
And, it's really beautiful to see the whole journey. Yeah.
And what was it like? Because I know you said like Khalid like tweeting it out. I know something like that solidified it for me was when Jada Pinkett Smith tweeted
Jada.
it. I was like, oh, absolutely. She said one of the Smiths say something that is serious. So what is it getting that support like from a whole different level? Because you did tell me you had a love-hate situation with Houston, and just from that situation, well, you can probably tell us about that, and to getting the support that you're getting now.
2011, I went to NRG Stadium to do American Idol, and I got cut immediately. Didn't even get past, didn't get to see the judges, nothing. Just I went to like the preliminary judge and got cut from jump. And so that made me like, that kind of put a fire in me, which led to me starting to make music.
Right.
So to go from that moment to now, headlining the show in Houston, and we're pretty close to sold out if we're not sold out. So it's just, it's really cool, and to have just those moments on the tour. And then you start thinking about the celebrities who have shown support. To me, that's much cooler for the fans, for them to be like, okay, we're with the right guy. Because Jada Pinkett has not only said Blind Man's great, but she loves the artist. And then, Diddy plays it. Zendaya plays it, Trey Songz, Dwayne Wade, like all these people that are just like sharing the music, playing the music. And it makes the fans be like, all right, we're on the right track because this is our guy.
Right.
For me, it's cool. I never get to meet these people,
It's like, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, Jada actually said my name. Trey actually said my name.
Right.
But with the Diddy, with Zendaya, with some of these other people, they're just playing the music, no tagging it like that, which is no problem because it's great that they're playing it at all. But it doesn't change your life. Is basically what I'm getting at. It's just really cool, and it's like, okay, if I was feeling down that day, all right, let's keep going. Like, people they're listening and they care enough to share it. So,
That's amazing. You can only imagine. But it's like something, I think it's when you know that you have that special thing within you, you're already prepared for it. So when it's happened, you're humble, you're already like, okay, I'm doing right. I'm on the right track. So I think that's great. So what exactly is your first tour, right? Well,
that's my first headlining
tour. So it's your first headlining tour. I know that can be a little stressful, I'm sure. So what do you do to like relieve stress, or like what fun things do you get into? Because I walked in and I saw you guys watching wrestling. I'm into it. I'm seeing Booker T. I ain't seen him in a minute. So what do you do to like just take a breather and stay sane? Because that's a lot of traveling.
And like I told you before, like I'm not an introvert in the word. I'm like an actual introvert. I need alone time.
Right.
And I haven't had any of that for the most part on tour, except I did get to stay in a hotel room by myself. That was great. But for me, just to relieve stress, I have my trainer with me. And while I'm working out, it's not much of a stress reliever. It doesn't feel like it. But when I finish, I feel like, okay, cool, I'm lighter. And then, good Lord, did I follow that up with doing a whole show. But, so I'm aching and hurting in the morning, but then he gets me on this thing called STEM machine, which is, it's kind of like, similar to like electroshock therapy a little bit.
I think
and it just like helps the blood flow. So once I'm off of that, that's not fun while it's happening, but once I'm off of that, I feel great. And so there's just, little things help me relax. He will, stretch me sometimes just to make sure I'm, I'm good and I'm relaxed in that way too. It's just really cool to have someone there that's specifically focused on your well-being. So that's the number one thing. And then we have the Xbox on the bus. Like we all play. I get the competitive juices going.
What games we
have a way to. Obviously NBA 2K18. We'll be playing WWE 2K18 if it would work. It stopped working on me. I don't know why.
New one.
Weird, man. So that we played a little bit of FIFA. We've played a whole bunch of Injustice 2, which is almost like Mortal Kombat, but for DC Comics.
That's live. I never heard of that.
It's pretty dope. Yeah, it's like Superman, Supergirl, Batman, all of them fighting each other. Yeah, they need to make one. That'd be crazy. What else? Oh, Madden. Play a little bit of Madden. So not a whole bunch going on. They started buying like new Call of Duty and all that stuff, and the bus started buying their own games. So I'm like, I don't know what you're gonna do with these when I take my Xbox home, but anyway,
just look at the game.
But we've all got a little something to relieve stress, and on weekends I go a little crazy, eat me all the cookies I want. So.
You need your cheat, your rest day. You need to feel good all around, you know.
So we've been taking care and making sure everybody does too. Yeah.
Right. And how is that? Like, I know you say you're like an actual like introvert, which I'm like 50-50. Like when it comes to work, I can like, if it's something I want to do, I can talk to you. But for the most part, I can relate to like, okay, I need to be alone.
Yeah.
So how was that transition? Did you realize that like when you're coming up, you're like, okay, look, I have to get out of this? Or how did you mentally prepare more so?
I think I became more introverted like the more like the music started to move, because I don't remember being introverted as a kid. Like when I was younger, my youth, I don't remember this at all. I have like a very vivid memory of just like going out, being with friends and having fun all the time. And now when I get home, even my recording, I kind of prefer to do it either by myself in my room, or if I'm in a bigger studio, I don't want to be like way off in a booth separated. I want the computer right there, and I want the mic right there, just like I'm at home.
Right.
And let you get out the room, let me do what I'm gonna do, and then come back in and let the engineer like do the work. Like I'm used to kind of going alone when I'm in that creative zone, or when I'm trying to just kind of accomplish something in my own mind. I need that total alone space. Like there was a time I was dating this girl at the time, and I hadn't been home in about a month, and but we lined up her visiting me to when I got home. I was like, low key, when you get here, I might need a room for an hour, because I was like, I ain't been by myself. And I just
Did that sit well with her?
Nah, so I didn't do it. I was like, I just want to watch TV for like just give me an hour. It was weird, but no, it didn't happen. So
yeah, I can hear her now. What do you mean?
Yeah. So it was crazy. Just at least I begin to recognize myself in what I do need here and there.
Right.
And also being able to get out of it, not just about what I need all the time. Because as far as what I need, I've only taken time for myself once during this tour.
Right.
I don't know how many days we've been out together, but we've had 8 shows. This is show number 9 tonight. And we've got another 10, 11 days together before anybody goes their separate ways. So yeah, it's just for me as a leader now, it's about making sure everybody else is straight and they're getting what they need and they don't feel left out. So just gotta put some of that on the back burner and just make sure they're good.
Right. That's amazing. And then just the overall, like you said, being a leader, making sure everybody's okay, and just the overall how you grow as a person. That growth is amazing to do it all together. And yeah, I think it's pretty great, like what you're doing. And what can we expect from you coming up?
This is like one of those questions I don't really like, only because I don't want to give people something to expect. Yeah. Because I think they already have their own expectations about, like, as far as sound of music or whatever. I've dropped a project every year, so that's not new. Right. And I'm putting out music every year. Obviously, me and Sango have already talked about, the second project that we're gonna do that we hope to have out next year. He got to get his out first. Good Lord, 4 years long now. But once he gets his out, we did a video together for one of the songs we have on his project. I'm really jealous because he put all these like dope artists together and had me by myself. He's like, well, I know fans like it when it's just me and you. I'm like, oh, but you gonna put him with him? Like, that was dope. Anyway,
you just left me out.
Man, I want to do some of these crazy collabs too. Right. But it just a teaser on his project for what we're gonna be doing on ours. That's the main thing to just be looking for. And from there, I don't really know exactly what's going to happen next. Is it another tour? Is it, am I opening for a big artist? Is it, I don't know what it is, you know. So I don't want to give people too much, except just that Sango project.
Right. Okay, I can understand that. Well, you definitely blessed us with the Christmas song. I was rocking it. Okay, I can definitely listen to that. I'm probably listening to it after Christmas, because the vibes are that nice.
It's dope. When we made it, we was like, yo, is this a Christmas song?
It just happened to be Christmas.
Yeah.
Just slid in it. That's dope, man.
Dope.
For you to be able to do that. Y'all might as well make the Christmas album.
Nah.
You know? No.
I'm not making no Christmas album.
No.
I will never in my career make a Christmas album.
That like
happening.
just solidifies like OG status. Like you just made a Christmas album.
Nope. Not happening. I ain't even singing about no reindeer and sleighs.
No.
Nope.
No.
Wonderful Christmas Times as far as I go.
That's the furthest. Okay.
Wonderful Christmas Times and songs about Jesus. That's all you're getting.
Yeah. We'll take it. It was popping.
Yeah, it was fun.
So, all in all, what do you want your fans to take away from your performance, from your music, from you as an artist, and what you're giving them?
I try to give them a specific message during the performance. There's a base one that I like to tell people during the tour, but in general, it may change. It could change each night for like maybe what I'm just feeling to say that night. But really, it is, there's strength and there's hope. I want to put a hope in this music and strength in this music, and basically just, you're never without strength because of who strengthens you, and you're never without hope for the same reason. And I try to convey that as much as possible, song by song. I don't know, I just really want people to take heed to that. It's a really simple message. And with the show, I'm actually trying to do my best to kind of create the perception of how I want people to see me. So Pink Lightning itself is, gentleness and strength. That's the whole idea of Pink Lightning. And, when you think of Travis Scott, you think go crazy. When you think Daniel Caesar, you think, oh, everything's nice and smooth. Right. I'm both of those.
Right.
And so I'm trying to, I wanted the EP title, the feeling of some of the songs, and the show to be this representation of who that is. So now I'm kind of building my rep right now.
Right.
So that when people in the future, when they know I have a tour coming up, they know how it's going to be, and they come prepared, and the energy's always higher when they know that you're going to bring it too.
Absolutely.
So right now it's just shock and awe for these shows. So that's, I want them to take away from the show how I would want to be perceived, and then the messages that I'm giving them as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, before we close.
Yeah.
Favorite Bible verse?
I don't honestly have one. I know I should probably have one.
No, I mean, it's all pretty great. So, I mean, it's really hard to choose.
I just don't truly have one that's just this is the one I stick to, live by, I'm going to get tattooed or anything of that nature.
Or a mantra. What do you live by every day?
Man, that hope and strength thing is really true, and I just always remember that that God is with me in everything, and that one of the obviously you can go to, and this is going to sound very basic, but I found something deeper in the basicness here, is that everybody knows the scripture, for God so loved the world, and you just kind of go past it like that, like so loved the world, but it really could have just said, so for God loved the world, but there's that so, and that's very important. So God so loved the world. He loved the world so much that he gave. And it's to highlight that kind of changes how you perceive his love for you, because it's so love. And that goes beyond just, oh, I love you. If somebody says, I love you, and if somebody says, I love you so much, it's like, yo, that's different. It just feels different. And they wanted that emphasis there for a reason. And so when I think of that, and it says that he gave, but he's still giving. There's still, every day, there's still grace and strength and hope and joy in life. They're still giving. So, not so much a mantra, but that's something I try to just keep in my head, and no matter what I'm going through, or when it's up, when it's down, remembering that. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I feel that completely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out and allowing us to interview you, allow me to interview you. I believe now you're gonna sign out, because all that good stuff.
You pretty much say it. whatever you want to say, really. You just shout out 22 minus 11.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, just, put the swag on it. Whatever you feeling.
Oh, so is it just like you're watching 22 minus 11 or?
Yeah, however you want to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I drop it on the website and the channel, but as long as you put that in there.
Okay.
That's cool.
Cool.
Ready? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Yo, what up? It's Xavier Omar, and you're watching 22 minus 11.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. We could just get a couple photos, you and Destiny, and then.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
Please.
pretty lit. That's
Right.